What's up, y'all? It's Ty in this video. Today, we're going to be going over talking about the auction house in NBA 2K25 MyTEAM. Is it a good time to be buying? Is it a good time to be selling? Those types of things. And as we do dive into that, if you're new to the channel, man, please smash that subscribe button. I, as always, appreciate the recent support. Now, I'm a firm believer, in the past couple of weeks, there's not that many people opening up packs. I don't think that many people opened up super packs on Tuesday, and I think this drop compared to last week's drop, there's just a lot less excitement. So I do believe there's less people opening up packs. However, I still do think, there's still a lot of people opening up packs. Like, it's a lot less, but there is still a ton of people opening up packs that, it is kind of crazy. But with where the auction house has been at, it's crazy to me because a guy like, and this is something I want to hit on real quick, a guy like Myles Turner is so much more rare than a guy like Alex Sarr. How? There's so many Alex Sarrs up, but then when it gets down to Myles Turner, there's barely any Myles Turners up. How does it work? Like, this is why I really wish 2K would drop their actual odds of all of these cards, because it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. But hopefully today I go in and see a lot of these cards getting cheaper and cheaper, but I just don't think that's going to ultimately be the case. So let's take a look at it. As far as 100 overalls, as far as dark matters, as more and more of them come out, their prices have continue to go down. Like Penny, this one's got 19 Hall of Famers, is somewhat affordable. Obviously the bad, 100 overalls like James Worthy is just, not gonna go for a lot. But again, as we've seen more and more dark matters, more and more 100 overalls, we've slowly seen those prices drop. Now, as far as invincibles, Giannis's price has dropped by quite a bit. Now, again, I don't know what he's going to end up going for, but he was consistently 7 million plus for the early stages of of when the card was released. Obviously, now under 7 million. I expect his price to continue to go down because, again, we know more and more of invincibles are going to be coming out. Now, as far as the prices of Galaxy Opals, as far as the price of pink diamonds, it's going to be what it's been for the past couple of months, in which, the auction house is just going to slowly and steadily continue going down. It's nothing outrageous. It's nothing egregious, but the auction house is going to steadily go down. And same thing with the pink diamonds. There are some solid pink diamonds in this set. I think especially trying to find out Thabo Sefolosha, especially him. Like, he's a solid pink diamond. He's going to be super cheap. And even like today, this is the card that I would really look to pick up. And I've got him. And I'm going to do a gameplay of this Banton card. But the fact of the matter is this. Each and every week that time goes on, we see some cards like Banton, right? Some cards that are some of the budget beasts in the game that continue, to drop in. And again, these are the types of cards that we need in 2K, right? This card is 6'8". He's got the normal leaner. His catch and shoot release is fantastic. I mean, these are the types of cards we need to see on a consistent basis because, Banton is incredible. I'm just being honest. Like, the card is never going to miss for you. He's going to play defense. There's just no reason that people aren't running Banton in this game. And so this is like what I really want to hit on is it's like guys like this for 3,000 MT are crazy. And again, I'm going to have a whole gameplay coming of Banton, but this just goes to my whole point of you can get him for super cheap. You want to go back into last week, guess what? A guy, let's say even like Bobby Portis is decent, but James Posey is an absolute beast at that shooting guard position. 2 weeks ago, we saw Mario Chalmers. That duo was okay, but Gortat, Caspi, these are cards that can play. Those are the types of guys that, for their prices, you can't beat. 3,000 MT for those types of cards. But as far as, the 100 overalls, Dark Matters, they are slowly and steadily going down. Like, Dark Matters, I think a week ago was the first week we saw real, a real, steady increase in buyable Dark Matters. I don't think we really had buyable Dark Matters before last week. But now we've got quite a few buyable Dark Matters, including a guy like Danny Granger, a guy I actually like quite a bit, that is a buyout now. And so these are the things, like, as time goes on, you're going to be able to start snagging a lot of these dark matters for really, really, really cheap. Obviously, the ones like Michael Beasley in recent drops are still going to be really expensive, but some of the guys that, used to be really, sought after, like a Hakeem, like a Castle, they have, you know, slowly and steadily went down. I don't think today is a great day to buy. I think there are better days to buy than today, but it's just kind of something that is on my mind as I'm recording this thing today. Is it's like, you know what? These are cards that maybe not today, but that, you know, are still a good option to buy. Now, one thing I always like looking at when I do my auction house videos are, what are the price of Wemby? Because I feel like Victor Wembanyama is kind of a barometer for where the auction house is overall at. Wemby's went for dang near a buyout before. He's over a buyout, but there are quite a few Victor Wembanyamas up, and each and every week when super packs come out, Wemby is one of the main guys that is featured in those super packs. So for me and my no money spent, kind of what am I waiting on? Well, I, like you guys, or probably like a lot of you guys, have a lot of these unsellable players. So like I've got Bam, I've got Nick Young, I got Jason Kidd, I got a lot of these unsellable players. So now what is my goal? Well, now I just got to build alongside them, right? And so what does that mean? Well, that means that, you know what, Jason Kidd has to, you know, I got to find a shooting guard next to him. Dr. J works, LeBron works. But then, you know, that's the main thing for me, is finding these sellable players that are really, really, really good. Maybe even upgrading my Michael Beasley could be a prime example of something that I am looking to do. Upgrading my Alex Caruso, another thing that I could look to do. And that's kind of the same thing for you guys. Is, again, this content drop wasn't, you know, a crazy content drop. So with it being kind of a bad content drop, I don't think there's that many people opening up packs. I don't think the auction house is going to drop like crazy. There is, you know, an Alex Caruso for 50,000 coins. I think that's pretty, you know, cheap, pretty reasonable. But I don't think the auction house is going to drop like crazy. So it's around that. How else do you, you know, look to upgrade your squad? What I like to do a lot of times is buy these, you know, upgraded players. So like if I found a Dyson with a couple of legends, those are the types of players that I personally look for when it does come down to building my squad personally. But as far as me and my no money spent, it's probably not a lot that's going to go on. As far as me and my main account, again, probably not a lot that's going on. One of the main things that I really am looking at, though, is how do I play this long term, right? Because right now, the auction house has kind of been in this in-between stage. But what I'm thinking about is long term, I want MT, right? I don't want to spend 2 million coins on a 100 overall point guard. Like, yes, Penny could help me out. Shea is a beast. But these cards are still really expensive, right? And so long term, I think that's what we need to start thinking about, because we're already end of April. And all you got to do is go back to like last year to kind of see the progression of the game. And you guys got to realize by like late May, you're seeing GOAT cards. You're seeing Dark Matters out in bulk, right? Like Galaxy Opals are the lowest, you know, cards we're getting then. And so that's kind of the long-term play, in my opinion, is guess what? A month from now, these cards are going to be out in bulk. And then there's going to be the GOAT cards that are really the expensive cards, and everything else won't be that crazy. And so that's kind of what I'm looking at. Is it a great time to buy right now? Honestly, no, it's not. You know, it's not a great time to spend your coins as it stands right now. If you guys want to, as always, you can. It's not like the worst time. It's not like the auction house has, you know, went up like crazy. But it is something to at least think about for you guys. So another day, another non-auction house crash. Like the auction house isn't going down a ton. I think the next big content drop, whether it's Wemby, whether it's, you know, Bron, that's when, you know, the market is really, I think, going to be impacted in a massive, massive way. That's going to wrap it up for our video. Just kind of recapping the overall market, where it's at today, what you guys should be looking at. Drop a like on the video, guys. Subscribe if you are new. And as always, man, I love you guys. Have a blessed day.